Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bridget Morris, and today we're going to be doing another recipe that is specific carbohydrate diet friendly. So today's recipe will be chicken curry, and this recipe is so good, like so tasty, and you can also make it as spicy as you want, which is always a good kicker. Yeah, lame. Anyways, so I originally found this recipe in a cookbook, but there were some items that I couldn't have. So I just did a quick substitutions, and I'm going to be showing them to you throughout this recipe. Really easy to do, but the best part is that it smells so good while you're cooking it. Now, if you're following the specific carbohydrate diet fully, you can't have rice, which is something that you tend to have curry with. So I'm going to be substituting that with riced cauliflower. Now, in this video, I'm going to be taking a full head of cauliflower and showing you how I kind of rice my cauliflower. But nowadays you can easily go to the store and buy a bag of riced cauliflower, and that way it just saves you the mess and saves you the time. But I didn't have a bag, so I just did it myself. So if you want to learn how to make some chicken curry that is specific carbohydrate diet friendly, please keep watching. Hey everyone, so I hope you're ready to do some cooking with me today. So the first thing we're going to do is take 3 chicken breasts and we're going to slice them up thinly. So I'm not a professional cook here, so my technique may not be the best, so please be kind. So we want to be slicing them thinly, but also you can see that I'm cutting those slices in half because you want to make them bite-sized. You're not going to be using a fork and knife to be cutting up your chicken breast in your curry. So if that means cutting the slices in 3 pieces instead of 2, then by all means just go ahead. Just make sure that they're bite-sized. That's the most important thing. So these are the ingredients that we're going to be using today. Some onions, red peppers, garlic, frozen peas, some honey, some ground cinnamon, some curry powder, turmeric powder, cayenne pepper, and some cilantro. So you can see here I've already measured and put in all the dry ingredients. So the turmeric, cinnamon, ground curry, and the cayenne pepper, and I'm just going to mix it all up together. So when it's time to put it in, I just have to dump it in. So now to try to find some coconut milk that we can actually eat. The problem is you're going to be finding that the majority have sugar in it, which is going to be under the name of gargum or guargum. Sorry for the pronunciation. So you can see here these first 2 already have it. So you're just going to have to keep looking. In this one here, you can see it only has coconut milk and water. So this could be a possible option. I did find that some of the brand names, like the bigger names, will have sugar in it. So this one here, it's gluten free, but you can see that it also has the gargum. So just because something is gluten free, it still doesn't mean that we can have it. So this is another example of item that has the sugar as well. So this can here is another option, but I found that at times it can cause issues, so I'm just going to go ahead with the first one that we saw. And now on to the cooking part. Just make sure you have a pot with high walls. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take some olive oil, just be generous with it, and then we're going to heat it up on a medium heat and let that oil heat up. I'm swishing it around just because I want to make sure that the bottom of the pot is evenly coated. The first thing we're going to do is add the raw chicken and we're going to cook it up. By having the olive oil completely at the bottom of the pot, it'll prevent it from sticking. So I'm just making sure that the chicken is evenly on the bottom, just so that way it's going to cook evenly. I'm going to add a bit of salt for seasoning. So about a minute and a half later, I'm just going to go in there, stir everything up, And as you can see here, I'm just turning all of the chicken on the other side, just that way all of it's going to be cooked evenly. Alright, so now it looks like it's all cooked, so I'm going to take everything out of here. So I'm going to take all of the chicken out and put it in this bowl because we're going to be using it later on. You want to keep the juices in the pot because it's going to add flavor as you're adding all the other elements to the dish. So the first thing we're going to do is add the onions. We're also going to be adding our red pepper. And we're going to be adding our garlic. You're going to stir it all up. Just make sure that it's all evenly mixed, just so it's cooking evenly with the juices. We're going to let it cook just a little bit so the onions can get soft. I like to always go in and stir it up just to make sure that the items are not sticking to the bottom. So now we're going to be adding our spices. So there should be a little bit of juices left at the bottom of the pot. So by adding all of this dry ingredients, it's going to make it really, really dry. You want to continuously be stirring as you're doing this. The heat will really let the flavors and the scents come out of these flavorful ingredients. Always keep stirring. And then you want to immediately add the coconut milk. So you want to stir immediately, and I don't know if you can really see here, but I'm really scraping the sides and I'm really scraping the bottom of the pot because with the dryness, it really stuck to the bottom, and so you want to get all of that out. The recipe calls for adding mango chutney, which we can't have because it has sugar, so we're going to add honey instead just to add a bit of sweetness to it. So I'm still stirring, I'm still trying to get everything unstuck from the sides. We're going to let that cook for a little bit. So about 5 minutes later, we're going to be adding the cooked chicken. So we're going to be stirring that up, and then we're going to be cooking it for maybe about 15 to 20 minutes. I like to clean up while I'm waiting. So we're going to check up on it, see how it's doing. Oh, I really wish you were here. You could smell it. It smells so good. Alright, so I'm holding a cauliflower. So this is how I like to rice my cauliflower. The first thing I'm going to do is wash it out, and then I'm going to cut out all of those green pieces. And then from here, you're going to take a sharp knife and you want to cut out the flowers of the cauliflower, like the little bits at the top. You don't really want to have the stems. What I like to do with the stems is I keep them and I kind of cut it up in smaller pieces and I put them in the freezer, and later on I'll end up using it for bone broth or like chicken stock if I'm going to be doing it. So I'm just going to put it to the side, as you can see. Alright, and then from here with my knife, I'm just going to be chopping it all up. It looks a little messy, and it is. If you have a food processor, you can throw those bigger chunks in there, and it's going to be a little bit smoother, but I don't have one, and so my knife does the job for me. so let's not forget about our curry. So you want to go in there. I like to stir it up a little bit just to make sure that it's still not stuck to the bottom. Ugh, it smells so good. All right, at this point, we're about 5 minutes away from it being done, so we're gonna add the frozen peas. All right, so you don't have to do this, but I like to have a little bit of zing into it, so you can just use lemon zest or lime zest, like what I'm doing here, just in case you're curious. That lime is from our orchard, and yes, our limes are yellow. All the coarser pieces of cauliflower I'm just going to put away, and I just put it in the fridge, and then as I'm ready to go, I'm going to eat it up. So today I'm going to be using up this cauliflower, so I'm going to chop it up just a little bit more so just the pieces are a little bit finer and it mimics more of the size of a rice. Alright, so looking at this, it looks pretty much ready to go. So this is what the final result looks like. It looks delicious and it tastes absolutely amazing. This is how I eat it. So I put the rice cauliflower at the bottom, kind of like on one side, and then I'm going to scoop up the curry with lots of sauce, and I'm just going to put it on the other side. Alright guys, well that's it. That's all there is to it. I hope you really liked this video, and I hope that it inspired you and you're going to go and try it yourself. Hopefully impress all your friends and your family. Even if you're not doing the specific carbohydrate diet, this is something that's still so tasty and so delicious. So you could definitely serve it to everybody and anybody in the world. If you want to leave in the comments below your thoughts on this video, if you've tried it, maybe your own variations of it, and let me know what they are, because again, I'm always looking for something to try, something new to do. And if you like this video, please press the like button and subscribe, and tell all your friends and all your family members about this channel, and so we can spread the healthy and spread the love. Stay tuned for my next video, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.